Welcome to Talking Balearics. This is Martin Makepeace. I'm not in Ibiza, but my heart's in Ibiza, I suppose. But I'm here in Australia, and I'm talking to this fine young gentleman in front of me.
My name's Richie Pratt. I'm from Mallorca. I am in Mallorca, you know. There's the difference between, this is the yin and the yang, yeah? I'm the poor man in this particular partnership, of course, as you can probably tell.
Richie, strong in heart, but very rich in heart, though, Rich. You know, it's
exactly. There you go. You see, there
Rich,
you go.
Big news, mate. Listen, I've just got a little thing for you there. Look, champagne glass in hand. Because
yes.
Here on the other side of the world, we're celebrating the first day of summer.
Oh, really? The 1st of December is the first day of summer. Interesting.
Okay. On this side of the world, but you know, it's a beautiful day. It's only 34 degrees today on the beach, so. You know, cheers to you and everyone in Mallorca and Ibiza. As I said, my heart's there, but physically I'm on the other side of the world at the moment.
Yeah, so from everybody in Mallorca and Ibiza, get stuffed. All right, so let's move on because we're talking about Ibiza. Actually, whereabouts are you in Australia?
Thank you, Rich.
Where are you?
I appreciate that, mate. That your tender, loving touch there really touched me, mate. So,
it could have been worse.
I'm in a place called Cottesloe in Perth, but I'm flying to Brisbane tomorrow for the second test on Thursday, so that'll be interesting. But no, all good, mate, all good. What? Even though I'm on the other side of the world, what have you got me from that little archipelago? Is that how you say it? Archipelago.
Archipelago. He used to play up front for Spurs, didn't he? Archipelago. Hey,
hey, you're on form today, mate. Have you had some wheat?
Yeah. No. Archipelago, isn't it?
Archipelago. That's
I'll probably get it wrong now.
Archipelago. So, what news have you got me from that little
Archipelago? He's great Scottish forward he was. Anyway, Balearic's holiday booking is up by 37.8% year on year, according to the figures this morning. It says, and apparently, according to the TTG, which you and I know is the Travel Trade Gazette, Mallorca, the most searched summer destination for UK travellers, they say right now. A 255% increase year on year, it says.
What, Balearics or Mallorca?
No, Mallorca. That's Mallorca. But Balearic's bookings are up just over 37%, which is good news.
Interesting. Go on.
I've also got, apparently Spain is losing out to Greece as the world's best place to retire in 2026.
Interesting.
Which is an interesting story. News of a DJ who we all will know, I'm sure, coming to Mallorca next year, which is a big surprise, I think, for quite a lot of people, me especially. Okay. But good news for the island, I think. We'll talk about that. And also a little bit of football chat at the end, I think, Mark, of course.
Of course, mate. It wouldn't be a Richie Pryor podcast without a little bit of a footy talk, mate. I've just got through. A big speech by Marga Prohens, who is the president of the Balearic Parliament, which I think we need to touch on, which is very interesting. I've also got, there's an iconic hotel in the north of the island, which has just had some major news. So it's a little bit of a short skit, that one. But I think for those true Ibiza lovers, they'll understand this one. So we've got an update on that. And also, Rich, another little thing that's probably a bit more closer to my heart and probably should be closer to yours as well, Rich. There was a big demonstration on the streets in Ibiza on Sunday, the 30th of November, so last week, from the autonomous business people, which you and I are both autonomous, aren't we? And they're pointing out some things really which are quite interesting. And, you know, I don't tend to get involved too much with it, but it did strike a chord with me. So I just want to go through a few things. I think probably you might agree with me on this as well, Rich. So something interesting there. And also, just quickly, I'm going to touch on the Christmas lights and the Christmas festivities because we've got a few things coming up. So I'll go into that in Ibiza, all the festivities in Ibiza. So just go into that.
Well, we are, of course, in December now. It's the 1st of December here. Weather is turning quite cold, to be perfectly honest, but thoughts are already turning to the summer. And according to the numbers, that Balearic holiday bookings are up 37.8% year on year. Britons lead the market, it said. I don't know if this is the same. You were talking about the Marga Prohens speech She said tourism is growing like never before. Is this the same speech that you're looking at?
I think it was part. It was part of the same oratory, really. I think it was a general one. It was at a 360 forum, and quoted everywhere. But what's she saying, Rich?
Well, basically, no, not what she said, but this is what this data has come out as apparently that Balearics has increased by 37.8% in the past week compared to the same days last year, and has risen by 26.7% compared to last week alone. The Balearics are the sixth most popular destination in Spain, behind Andalusia, Catalonia, and the Canary Islands, with Madrid and Valencia as well, according to data published by the platform, which was the Travelgate platform.
Okay.
There you go. 37.1% of last week's bookings were made more than 90 days in advance of the holiday, which is quite interesting, and 12.2% were made between 15 and 30 days in advance as well. So she's basically saying that they're concentrating more on the shoulder months, of course, and not on the high season. And she's basically saying she obviously, looking at culture, as obviously that was highlighted at the World Travel Market, and sports tourism as well, which we know is very big here. We get a lot of teams from various different, here in Mallorca, I don't know if it's the same for you, but obviously we get cyclists, we get divers, we get swimmers, we get sailors, we get boxers. To be honest, it's pretty much everything that we get here, to be honest with you, because it's slightly warmer than the UK, of course, and not too far to go, rather than flying to the Canaries, which is, a good 3.5 hour, 4 hour flight.
No, I mean, Mallorca really is a sporting destination in the winter month. The cycling, whenever I go there, I'm always amazed how many cyclists are there. I think the old B-Sky B team were there, weren't they, in the old days?
Yeah, they were.
And there's a lot of things going on. Rich, what's interesting though, so we're sixth. I mean, is that not slightly disappointing that we're behind Andalusia and Barcelona and Valencia? Because surely the Balearics it should be number one or number two. I know the percentages work in our favour, but sixth most searched for. I think I find that's quite surprising, Rich. Actually.
I don't know how you put that into sort of numbers, because they don't give you any numbers here, to be perfectly honest. Yeah. The sixth most popular destination in Spain with 8.4% of the bookings, they say. Yeah. I think
what's clear, Rich, I think people are getting organised earlier, aren't they? So, and what you said is like prior. You remember back in the days, the squealy deals and things like that, and the lastminute.com. That still exists, but I think people now want to plan ahead, and their main holidays, they want to get it out the way early, pay for it maybe in stages. I know when we go skiing, we pay for it early. We're classic. We pay with the tour operator, and then we pay like literally £300 a week for 6 months, and it's all paid for. Sorry, £300 a month for 6 months, and it's all paid for. So that's interesting as well. What I would just say is, I know we've done a bit of research before. I think Ibiza, Balearics, Mallorca, Formentera, Menorca, I think on Google rankings, we're up there with the most searched for as well. So without any publicity whatsoever, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, isn't it, really? Without any publicity. And this is where it goes back to the travel market and the Berlin ITB and the Madrid travel show as well, or Fitur as it's called in Madrid, is that, how much advertising does Ibiza and Mallorca need? Because we fulfill our own kind of prophecy by social media, by the big outlets. With your Melia is always coming up on my feed, and the hotels look amazing in Mallorca and Ibiza. So, it's interesting, and it just shows the Balearics are getting stronger and stronger all the time, which is good, but also slightly concerning.
Yeah, and I think, most marketeers will probably tell you that you should always be in the market. You should all be advertising your wares, whatever you want to call it, in the market, because, you can be left behind quite quickly, particularly in this day and age, can't you? So, whilst people might say, well, why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? Because we're full. Yeah, but we're only full in July and August. We're not full for the rest of the year. And, in most people's eyes, we should be a lot busier, really. Even now, as well as I do, Benidorm's still going strong right now. We're not. We're the sort of the big resorts are ghost towns right now. I was in Palma at the weekend. Palma was busy at the weekend, and it looks great. There's some fantastic markets, great lights, great restaurants, great bars. And I think I said last week, it's a great place to come for a weekend away if you want to get away, do a bit of Christmas shopping, or just do a bit of sightseeing as well. It is good. But I think and other people would like to see, Magaluf and Parmanova be open in the winter months, the same as Benidorm is.
I think
how we get there, we've been talking about it for ages, but
I think there's definitely a shout to be open November and December, because I just think November's the shoulder month, as you will, because the technically end of summer is the 31st of October. The first of, your Christmas lights opened on the 25th of November, wasn't it, or a bit earlier in part?
Yeah, last week. Yeah.
So literally, you've got those 3 weeks where you could almost afford to give it away. I don't mean that as in zero, but very little. Get people over, sporting tours, maybe look for a little bit more of themed holidays or activity holidays, and then we're into December. And I think you said it yourself. Ibiza really comes alive in December. It's crazy how good it is in December, and there's not many people looking at it because it's probably the most authentic that the islands are in December, isn't it? Because the locals around shopping and eating, because most of them aren't working because it's seasonal. So I think there's a real great shout. November and December, I think we should be looking to extend the season for that far for sure.
Okay, what you got?
So, Rich, Prohens, Marga Prohens, for those who don't know, Marga Prohens is the president of the Balearic Parliament. She represents the Partido Popular, which is, for all intents and purposes, the Conservatives of Spain. She's there. She's ruling in a coalition with Vox at the moment, which is always slightly concerning because Vox are far right, and they sometimes insist on certain things. But she's come out with a bit of a landmark speech, Rich, because we've touched about the housing problem in previous episodes of Talking Balearics. However, she's really put some meat on the bone this time. And what she said, basically, it's quite a simple equation, Rich. She's actually said in the last 15 years, there's been 160,000 new residents on the islands. Okay, 160,000 new residents. I know Mallorca's gone up exponentially. We have as well in Ibiza. It's growing all the time. Why are people coming to the Balearics? It's straightforward. It's 2 hours from the UK, and it's a fantastic way of life over there, isn't it? It's a quality of life like people can only dream of. So we've got 160,000 new residents, and only 30,000 new homes have been built in that time. So what she said, really, the priority now is to build homes. But this is the clave, Rich. This is the key. What she's saying, you're going to build homes for Balearic residents. Okay. You
froze completely there.
No, mate, I'm back. I said.
Okay.
The thing is, she said that she wants to build homes for Balearic residents. That's the key. So I'm not sure how she's going to do it, but it looks like she's going to sideswipe any foreigners, so to speak, people who are coming in for investment, and she's looking to target young Balearic residents, which is music to my ears because I've got two sons who are looking to buy a house in the next 5 or 6 years. You've got two sons who are looking to buy maybe in the next decade for sure, Rich, aren't they? So this is something that I think is going to change the way people think about housing in Balearics. But I have doubts, Rich. How can you do it? It's a free market. I'm concerned in the way they're going to bring it in. Who are they going to prioritise? Who are they going to target? Is it going to be fair? Something in the Balearics we have to talk about. Sometimes things aren't fair. It's not what you know, it's who you know. They're talking about something called a VPL, which isn't a visible panty line, Rich, for you, obviously, because that's what you were thinking when I said that.
I did actually, funny enough.
It's not funny at all, Rich. I know you better than you know yourself. No, basically, it's a vivienda precio limitada. So it's a limited price house, okay, which will come onto the market 30% cheaper than normal houses. Also, they're going to offer mortgages for 40 years for youngsters, for people in their 20s, so to make it more affordable. So the good news is, Rich, is they're being proactive. They're looking for things to do, looking to ways to solve the problem. The bad news is I'm not quite sure how they're going to do it. So we're going to have to keep abreast of this. And if you're a young Balearic resident listening to this podcast, it could be some good news coming your way very shortly.
Yeah, good. My youngest son, said to me the other day, Dad, if we want to buy a property, this is my youngest, he's 16. If we want to buy a property, we'll probably have to move away from here, aren't we? And I said, well, I'm not quite sure. It's you never know, things might change in the near future, or you just get yourself a job that earns you loads of money and you'll be all right.
Yeah, also the way priority in New York is going these days, Rich, you can probably buy them both a villa in the next 10 years. So
Yeah. That's it, Mark. That's it. Like your style. Very good, very good.
That was good, mate, because I made you feel good about your business, and also said something positive. So it's a win-win, Rich, that one.
Yeah. Says the man in Australia, me still in Mallorca. Anyway, let's move on. Rising cost of living, property prices, and paperwork are apparently putting Britons looking to move or retire overseas off Spain and even Portugal. Because I've heard that Portugal has become quite popular for people to retire to. But apparently, even Portugal's off the list now. Those are the traditional top destinations. According to the International Living's 2026 Annual Global Retirement Index, Greece is now the place to retire. It states obtaining residency is quite straightforward. Retirees often apply for financial independent person's permit, while property buyers typically seek the golden visa. Obviously, we used to have here, but we don't have it here anymore. And they basically say that retiring to Greece is a lot easier than it is to Spain or to Portugal.
Well, I mean, Greece, they need the hard currency, don't they? Just like Portugal did before, they made life easier. Property prices are low, cost of living is low. You get more bang for your buck in these. It's called the pigs. Now I got in trouble talking about the pigs before, Rich. But do you know what the pigs are?
No.
The pigs are the South European countries: Portugal, Italy, Greece, and Spain. It's called the pigs. I mean,
okay.
I've got in trouble for saying before, but it's an acronym which works. And basically, they're the countries that people want to live in because of those reasons. The cost of living's low. You can get a lot more for your money house wise. If you sell your house in the UK for maybe like €600,000 or €700,000 or whatever, you can buy a great place in the pigs for that kind of money. Obviously, even now in somewheres in Spain, some places in Spain, you can get amazing value for money. Murcia, north of Valencia. You can go to the north, Asturias. You could buy a chateau or a castle for like 600,000, mate, quite easily. I mean, it won't gain any money, and it'll be a lot to look after. But it doesn't surprise me that Greece is actually coming up on the blind side, because I've been there a few times over the last 5 years, and it's a really, really good country, switched on. The people speak perfect English. They're very hospitable. And I tell you, it wouldn't be a bad place to live. However, I think it's got even more bureaucracy than Spain. I think Greece has. So there will be some caveats there, but no, that's an interesting stat there, Rich.
Good. What else you got?
Caladensera, Rich. Now, in the north of the island, Caladensera, it's a beautiful little cove. Very, very iconic in Ibiza because it's got a hotel on it. It's got an abandoned hotel. We love an abandoned hotel in Ibiza because, that they become these places that people take pictures of. Ever since the advent of social media, these iconic places where abandoned, like the Festival Club in San Jose, that's abandoned. So it's Caladensera. Hotel was built 1969, Rich. There you go. A good year, because that was the year I was born, 69. Oh, sorry, 79, but, for all intents and purposes, 69. And it was built there. Now, let me get this right, because this is an architect called Josep Lluís Sert was the architect there. He built it, or he built the structure, should I say, and it's right on the beach overlooking Caladensera. It's an incredible position. Obviously, there was looks like there was politics involved. It basically never got built. It got delayed, and so we're talking the best part of 55 years. It's just been sitting there now. The demolition order. Now, I mean, I know the wheels move slowly in Spain, mate, but 55 years later, come on, Rich, come on, 55 years later, the demolition order's in there now. Two things, Rich. It's going to cost 100,000 to demolish it, which I think is really cheap. So I'm not sure who's doing that. But secondly, do you know how they're paying for the demolition, Rich? Go on. What's your
tourist tax, I imagine?
Yes, your second favourite subject is a tourist tax. So they're using the tourist tax to demolish it. So on the one hand, it's a shame because it will go. It's a little bit of a landmark and it's a bit of an iconic spot. But bottom line is, mate, it's a graffitied, vandalised, run-down old wreck, and it needs going. And we need to beautify our islands, you know. So on the one hand, I'll be sorry to see it go, but on the other hand, it's a really positive thing. Let's use a tourist tax to clean up our islands, which you said before. Let's get rid of these things and move on.
David Guetta is coming to Mallorca, Mark. How about this?
What, did he get lost? Did he get lost? Did he get lost? What happened? Was the plane diverted from a big? I don't understand, Rich. What are you talking to me about?
Forget your Ushuaias, forget your highs, forget your universe, whatever it is. David Guetta is coming to play the Mallorca Live Festival, the closing party on June the 14th next year, which is an interesting thing. You know, it sort of came way out of the blue. I mean, they have had some, you know, pretty good bands and singers in the last few years, including the Black Eyed Peas and Blondie and who else? Massive Attack, and amongst others. But a big name DJ really hasn't been part of this sort of Mallorca Live, because obviously Mallorca Live was normally bands or singers, really. So to go this way is an interesting move, I think. Closing party is June the 14th, and well, you can get a nice I think it's a VVI experience for 7,700 euros.
Put me down for two, Rich, for that. Put me down for two.
For a party of 10. Well, that's for a party of 10. So it's 700.
We'll get 20 of the lads together and have a bit of fun on that one, can't we?
Yeah, sold out, Bart, apparently already. So there you go. But yeah, so interesting. I think it's quite a good move for them, actually. You know, something completely different, something that David Guetta was supposed to play here a few years ago, I remember, and the concert got called off with a few problems with the licensing, etc. here. But obviously renowned for playing in Ibiza, the world's number one DJs, you know, from your DJ Mag thing that we did a little bit earlier, where you called it, I can't remember who you called, was it Fisher? You said
I said Fisher, yeah. And my exact words was Guetta's going to get nowhere near the top, and what do you know?
Yeah, there you go. So there you go. Big news. David Guetta coming to Mallorca Live June the 14th, 2026.
Yeah, great news, Rich. I think also Guetta really he's mainstream. He's very, very good at his craft. I went to see him in the summer. Got dragged there by a friend of mine, and he was absolutely awesome. I've got to tell you, he put in. Remember, I told you, he put the cutting crew. I Just Died in Your Arms Tonight, and he mixed it, and I was like, wow. Even I was impressed, and as a true '80s boy, I was absolutely impressed. But also, Rich, I think Mallorca deserves a little bit of EDM. I think you don't want to go too old school or too mainstream. You need a bit edgy now and again. Well, not that Guetta's really edgy, because as I say, he's mainstream. But I think you probably need to start bringing more of these names in, just not on a weekly residency, but just as a one-off. And I mean, your kids will like that type of thing, won't they? The Spanish market will love it.
I think so. Yeah, I think it'll go well with the Spanish. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. And I think that the English as well. You know, if you build it, they will come, mate. So I think it's a really good thing for Mallorca to do.
Anything else, Mark?
You're autonomous, aren't you, Rich?
Oh, yes, I am. Yes. I'm interested to hear about this.
Yeah, no, I'm autonomous. You're autonomous. Now, just to explain to people back at home, because I know we have a lot of listeners from the UK who probably won't understand how the autonomous works. Now, if you're basically, autonomous means self-employed. If you're self-employed, you pay a fixed stamp every month. Now, my stamp is close to 500 euros every month. So regardless if I'm working or whatever I'm doing, or if I'm traveling the world, or I'm in Australia watching cricket, drinking beer in the sunshine, I still have to pay 500 euros every month. Now, the system is quite strange, because if you work for somebody, then they will pay your Social Security on your behalf, and it will be around about 40% of your salary. But when you're self-employed like myself and Richie Pryor, you pay a set amount. You put the bills in, and then you pay the VAT. Now, there was a big manifestation, so there was a big protest, if you will, on the streets of Ibiza on Sunday, the 30th of November. So the last week just gone, 650 people, which doesn't sound a lot, Rich, but when you think about our population and the people there who were actually on the streets, so it was pretty good. It garnered a lot of press. And what they're just saying, I mean, this is the headline, which is quite interesting. They're saying we ask for dignity, justice, and common sense. Now, for those of people who live in the Balearic Islands, dignity sometimes, justice now and again, common sense never. So basically what they're asking for, just to relax it. And something I understand, because some people don't work in the winter, especially in our seasonal operations. Some people only work 6 months, but you have to be employed all year round. So you carry on paying your stamp for the 6 months that you're not actually working. So I think what they're asking for is just a rethink. I think now's the right time. With the general elections looming in a couple of years, I think the pressure groups will start. I would like to see some changes there, because I think, 500 euros a month when I'm working all year round, but at the moment I'm away for a couple of months. So it'd be nice to just reduce that maybe by a little bit. And still get the benefits of being self-employed. But I don't know what you think, Rich, but I think it's a pretty positive move in the right direction. Not only that, it's the first time I've ever heard of this as well. So, it's cutting through when the self-employed people are taking to the streets, because they used to be the ones who were quite happy, making money. And it used to be the workers on the streets, didn't it? But now it's the self-employed. So I don't know what you think about that, Rich, but I think it's a positive move.
Well, we had a similar protest in Mallorca as well. Might made the front page headline, actually, the Ultima Aura as well. And yeah, you're right. I mean, listen, I've just started my business, so I'm a sort of a newbie to all this, but I'm quite surprised about, the money that you have to pay, plus your taxes, plus, obviously you normally have to have a gestor to do all your paperwork for you as well. So, sometimes you're pretty much, sometimes from a new business point of view, not earning much more than what you're paying out, if the truth be known. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So, something needs to be done. I mean, I'm quite lucky. Mine's quite low because I've started new, and they give you the first year free. But then after that, mine sort of triples in price, which isn't great. So, yeah, they don't make it easy. Let's put it like that. And you'd think they probably would,
Yeah,
I'm sure they would prefer to have more and more people self-employed, contributing to the island and doing things that normally, obviously, most businesses here are for the islands as well, aren't they?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, I don't know.
No, I think it's a step in the right direction, but it's the first time I've heard of it, Rich. And as an autonomous, I've been autonomous for over 30 years. And I think when I first started, I think I was paying 210 euros. Now I'm paying, close to 500 euros every month. And all that gets me, by the way, is my stamp, which is the stamp for my medical services. That doesn't include tax. That's just the Social Security, basically. So, I don't mind. I really believe that you have to put into the system. You have to pay into the system, but sometimes the system's not fair. And I know people back in the UK will probably think the same, because the system over there has been creaking for a while. So in Spain, I think we're still so old-fashioned over here in Spain, mate, that I just think it's good time now just to review it and maybe just tweak it a little bit.
I think we should mention, Mark, something that has happened in the last sort of week or 10 days or so, the passing of Richard Branson's wife, Joan Templeton, Templeman, sorry. She, obviously, they are quite regular visitors to Mallorca. They have a big hotel here called Son Bunyola, which is an estate hotel, beautiful part of Mallorca, Banyul Bufar, and also very familiar faces in Daya, where they used to own the big Residencia hotel as well. Sad news, condolences go out to Richard Branson and all his family from us here at Talking Balearics.
Absolutely, Rich. Well said. And also, in the big scheme of things, he's been an unbelievable ambassador for the Balearic Islands, hasn't he? I mean, primarily in Mallorca, but that reflects greatly on the other islands as well. So yes, sad news, and he put a very emotional post online. I saw that. So it's sad news, mate, and thoughts are with him and his family at this moment in time.
So I went to Real Mallorca. We'll finish on football as we normally do, Mark.
Of course.
I went to Real Mallorca at the wind, and listen, the first half was probably one of the worst halves of football you're ever going to see in your life. There wasn't a shot. Neither team had a shot. We were playing Osasuna, who are below us in the league, rightly so, by the look at their team. And so I said to my son, we even contemplated leaving because it was that bad, you know what I mean, at half-time. But we said, all right, let's stay on. Then Mallorca sort of burst into life, got 2 goals, 2-0 up. We're thinking, right, okay, it's done. It's, 10 minutes to go. And then we let 2 goals in the last 10 minutes. Dreadful. So not good. Mallorca lying now in 15th place on 13 points. And just above the relegation, Osasuna in 17th place. The bottom three teams are Girona, Levante, and Oviedo. Girona got a good draw actually against Real Madrid last night. So Barcelona now top the league. Mark, 34 points. Real Madrid in second on 33, and Villarreal in third on 32, and Atletico Madrid fourth on 31. So it's actually quite close at the top. There's a bit of a gap, 7-point gap to Betis in fifth place, but those top four are quite close together. It's going to be a tough year for Real Mallorca.
You know, Rich, when not only are you down the bottom, but when you're playing awful football, it's like the double whammy, isn't it? If you were having a real go and you're like, it was a great game, we lost to a last-minute goal, we didn't deserve it. But when it's awful and then you're conceding goals like that, I think it's going to be a tough one. Let's face it, Rich, fourth from bottom will be a good year, won't it?
Well, listen, we always say every year, finish 17th and don't worry about everything else. We finished 10th last year, which is an amazing feat, really, to be perfectly honest. And the squad hasn't changed that much, if the truth be known. It's just obviously another year older. And I think it's showing in the fans as well. Only 15,000 turned up on Saturday, which is a 2:00 in the afternoon kickoff. So it wasn't a bad kickoff time or anything like that. It wasn't affecting really anything that people were doing. So it's obviously, the fans are voting with their feet. Let's see. They've got a few... teams around them over the next few games. They've got Numancia in the Copa del Rey this week coming. So we'll see. But obviously, as you said, 17th. Yeah, I'll sign that now.
Good. Yeah. Last one, Rich. Yeah. Just a quick one. Obviously, Christmas lights are on all over the island as well. San Antonio's rocking. I saw a great drone video. I think the Highlander, which is a Scottish bar in the West End, did this drone video. I mean, I'm supposed to presume they weren't allowed to do it, but this great drone video. And the first big party, because what they do in San Antonio, they have these big parties. They've got a stage there as well. This coming Sunday, 7th of December from 4:00, La Movida. Do you know what La Movida is, Rich? It's like the 80s, 90s. It's that. Petit and Vasquez, very famous DJs here on the island. They've got a massive party in San Antonio, 4:00 on Sunday. If you're in town, get involved.
Yeah, it's a big holiday this weekend, isn't it? Most people have got Friday and Monday off, so you've got basically a 4-day break here in Spain. So it's a big holiday at the beginning of December, and a good time to come to Mallorca, actually. Or
absolutely,
as you say, good time to come.
Saturday's is the Constitution Day, isn't it? Which will be the pomp and circumstance. So you'll see all the pictures of the police everywhere and the politicians doing the parades. And obviously we've got the big one on Monday, Rich, my favourite, the Immaculate Conception Day. I like that day because
everybody loves an Immaculate Conception, Mark.
Because all I would say is that definitely happened. Okay.
Rich, don't get into that, Mark.
No, I'm not going to get. Listen, let's stay away from religion and politics, shall we?
Exactly.
Listen. The champagne glass is almost empty. So cheers. Here's
very nice to enjoy the cricket. When does it start? Thursday, right?
It's Thursday. So next Wednesday, when we do our next Talking Balearics, it will either be very happy or very sad. So watch this space.
Well, if anything's last test, Mark, we can record on Saturday because it'll be over by then.
Unbelievable. Rich, always a pleasure talking to you, mate.
Take care, mate. All the best.
Speak to you soon, buddy.
Bye-bye.